tell. You what,
Kitty?
I wanted to ask you guys, did you see Hunter at the football field that night as well?
She told me she never went to the truck. Yes, you did. You told me that you never went to the truck and you beat yourself up.
Was Hunter at the football field?
No.
Did you see Hunter at the football field?
No.
It's your story. You how you want to.
No.
She does.
So they said Hunter went to the ball field afterwards. He did then? He wasn't there, or he was?
Somebody kicked in my door and they couldn't do nothing about it because there was no cameras.
Okay, guys. Let's just ignore her. I think that's probably the best thing to do for now.
You have to walk away.
You have to be the better person, but sometimes it's hard.
So okay, it's put me off.
We're doing an interview and she's mad in her feels.
Okay.
So
anyway, sorry.
She's allowed to go on and she's allowed to say what she wants on these other channels every night, and she's talking about Candace, she's talking about different people. So it's only fair that other people get to have their say as well, you know, and if there's something you've witnessed or something's been said to you, you have just as much right to be able to speak.
But you don't. My daughter told me that that Candace was coming to pick her and True up to go to her house so that I could not find her. If that would have happened, whatever could have happened, that could have been my child.
Yeah.
Like that literally could have been my child instead of Summer.
I mean, we had the law out here.
Yeah, the law was looking for her. Like, my oldest son plays travel sports, so she was home with her dad that day, and I was away for a one-day tournament, and when I come home, he was already looking for her. I just happened to, I just a mother's instinct, you track her down, but like my thing is if my child's missing, I'm not trying to get publicity. I'm not stopping. I'm not sleeping until I find my child.
Yeah.
And I'm not using a 5-year-old for my fame or to put my face out on a YouTube channel or for money because that's not my child.
No. And you said that she used to work at Walmart, but she's not working now, or? And what is she using the? How would the why?
Well, I know she couldn't work. I don't know if she went.
I don't know if she's went back or not, but
I honestly I don't know. I can't speak on that.
She was out of work for a while because of this situation. She said, but I think the other day I heard her saying that she went back to work on a YouTube channel. So you don't ever know what's true. They don't ever hardly stay at home anymore. I don't know why they're here today. We got lucky, I guess.
We certainly did. So for anybody asking if these lovely ladies know Ali, I don't think we need to ask them again.
We don't need to clarify that anymore.
We don't need to clarify that. Thank you for the super chats, guys. If I haven't acknowledged, just because we're in the middle of this conversation. But can we just talk about a situation that was discussed previously on the Chris McDonough show, and that was to do with them having some kind of, we call it a barbecue here, cookout in the back garden, and something was said, I think it was Leslie said that Candace had got the kids to lay on the hot ground, and you obviously live next door, and you remember part of that day. Do you want to tell us your side?
Yeah, I remember that day because they never come outside. They never do anything. So whenever they do, you notice. How can you not notice them? Listen to how loud they are. But they was grilling out back, and because they had asked my son if he wanted a hot dog, and I told him no, thank you. But they were cars parked in the back where the pavement was at. And if I would have seen a kid laying in a hot concrete, any kid, I don't care if it was my kid or not, being punished like that, I would have said something. She would have said something. Anybody would have said something. So I feel like that's just a lie to make themselves look better.
You know, and they told me that story multiple times. Like every time I've seen that woman, Leslie, she would tell me that same story over and over. Like she didn't remember telling me before. And I'm like, you told me this. And I mean, I never seen anything like that going on outside. But I never see them out back either. If they are outside, it's out front on the porch.
I remember that.
I mean, you can't say on the front porch in peace and enjoy yourself because they're outside on the front.
But
So
I think
if
when I
they're out-
spoke to Melissa before, Melissa was saying that day the car was pulled right up to the front to the garage, so they wouldn't have been able to lay on the hot ground.
No, they wouldn't have. I mean, the parking lot back there is like this big. I mean, it's just like that. There's no room for, and if you're driving big SUVs.
Yeah, I drive a SUV, so if I'm back there, she can't get her Nissan Sentra in there.
So, but you would have had Leslie's car, their car, and Candace's car out there. And they all have pretty big sized vehicles. So they would have been no, I was out there, my son was out there playing. And if I would have seen something like that, I would have said something. They had a little swimming pool. It wasn't very big at all. It was probably like maybe not even to their knees, splashing around out there. They probably got it at like Diesel or Walmart or something. I don't know. But I don't think there's no way that could have happened.
Yeah. So I mean, what would they get out of saying these things if they weren't true? That's what we're all trying to work out on YouTube from watching that interview. Like, if
they want to make Candace look bad and them look better.
Yeah.
I mean, Candace does a good job of her own making herself look bad. She doesn't.
True story.
Well, I mean, yeah, we'd have to agree on that one.
For sure.
I think we'd all probably agree on that one, to be honest.
I don't know what would. Dr. Phil exposed, pardon my French, but exposed the hell out of them and had Candace ready to tore up from the floor up.
No cornbread mafia. That's what
God, cornbread mafia.
Peacemaker,
So,
not no cornbread mafia.
so, guys, did you ever witness anything odd between H and Candace, or ever hear anything along those lines?
My daughter personally told me that she heard him say that he had sexual intercourse with her, but that's
Who said
kid
that?
talk.
Sorry?
My
the
daughter. Yeah, and my daughter was very good friends with Sandra and True. Very good friends. Obviously, she ran away to them, so you know.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, this is quite it's a difficult thing to talk about because we're talking about a minor. So we'll use the word H instead of his name. But no, don't worry, it's fine. You're not used to calling him H. But tell me about him. Tell me about him and from what you've witnessed, the fact that he plays with your kids, whatever you heard, how he is as a person, what's gone on in the streets since all this has happened.
a bully.
He does, but he does have a hard time because I mean he tries to be tough and he's really not about that life. And I think not just him, but the whole family. I don't think they're all there. I think you know what I mean. I hate to be ugly like that, but I think they're missing a couple screws. And H has had a really hard time with all this. They've been in plenty of fights. Remember the fight with the neighbors? They were stolen the furniture. All that crazy stuff happened.
Yeah.
And then they came outside to tell me about it when I was checking my mail. Allie did. And she heard them talk, had a kid in the door running. But she came inside. They got into it again. He got into it with the boyfriend. H goes inside, grabs a knife, and was like, I'm not going to let them, bully me. I'm tired of it. They're not going to cut me out. It's not. And I'm like, Allie, he needs to go in the house and get the knife up. This case going on. It's not going to look very good. You need to tell him to go back inside with the knife. And she had to tell him a couple times, but he finally went inside. But
So H came outside with a weapon and started threatening people with it.
Yeah, because people, they've been into it with everybody over here.
Oh my gosh.
He beat a
So-
14-year-old girl about that.
Yeah.
He beat a 14-year-old girl.
The neighbor girl out back out here. We all watched him.
Yeah, somebody had it on recording, but I couldn't find the recording.
So there was a recording of him fighting with some girl or some men in the street.
Yeah. Both. And that was right after Summer had went missing, so
Yeah. So he was obviously having issues after she went missing. A lot went on. But the question is, was a lot going on with him prior to Summer going missing? Or was this something new? Was he acting out like because of Summer went missing? Or was this just normal for him to start fighting in the street and carrying on?
No, he never did that until after Summer went missing. So, I mean, he never really even came out the house until after she went missing. And then after she went missing, it was like he was out here all the time fighting people. It was totally different kid, I think. But, and he did get in trouble for stealing a car and doing all that stuff. And he was on probation. And after Summer went missing, he did not want to go to school. I think people was giving him a hard time at school. And
Oh, they was definitely.
Yeah.
My son had class with him.
so,
And so he stopped going to school and then eventually ended up in some.
for not going to school. And he,
And I mean, he was awful in school. My son had classes with him. I mean, my son would come home multiple times a week and tell me things that he was doing to other kids in class, and how, he was just a bully at school, and
Be careful.
getting kicked out of school.
Maverick, go up to Taylor's porch.
and my son is 10. And,
Maverick,
and
go up there.
He's a little rowdy, but I mean, I do get, help for my son. If my son needs help, we'll get the help that he needs with counseling, whatever. I do care about my son. But why is a 15-year-old boy wanting to hang out with a 10-year-old little boy? I never understood that. And he acts like, they're best friends and buddies. And it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the problems are with H. I wouldn't even want to say, there's probably some, learning difficulties or something, whatever it is. That's, for them, maybe that's the reason why he wanted to play with the children that were a bit younger than him. But it sounds like a lot's gone on.
And just like that day, just one little hole. Why wouldn't you want to take the little girl that is closer to your daughter's age opposed to a
Yeah, that's a good
Right.
That's a good
Like
comment. Go on, Kat.
I just really wanted to kind of drill down on this because part of H's timeline was that he was at the ballpark with his girlfriend that evening. That's what he said to Chris McDonough. And I just asked if H was actually seen at the ball field that evening. And you guys said that you didn't see him there. Is that right?
I didn't see him there, no. I seen Leslie there. I seen Allie there. I seen the younger daughter there. And I think it might have been Leslie's man or something, and the little boy that they was watching practice. But I didn't see Hunter there.
So Hunter wasn't there with his girlfriend, which is what he said.
Yeah, so that's another big thing. So we've got the fact that he wasn't at the ball field after he's told everybody.
That's who he was. And
yeah.
Ali didn't go to the vehicle and actually look in the vehicle at all that day and regrets it ever since.
Yeah, well, now she's saying she didn't say that, so that's fine. I have no lies to tell. I don't get nothing out of lying for her or about her, so I just don't understand why she's lying. I think she just got caught up in her lies and doing these interviews, and it's catching up with her. I mean, you can only lie so much, and you forget what you say, and then you got to change it and say something else, and I'm sure that's what she's done probably multiple times.
Yeah,
right, and the thing with being a liar, isn't it? You've got to have a really good memory if you're going to lie.
Yes.
I think I just want to kind of say from my experience of this case, since the start, really, a lot of the adults have been caught out in lies. Her own parents, her grandmother, Ali,
And my thing is,
Brandon.
if you thought that your child was sexually, this really bothers me, because if you thought that your kid was sexually abused by somebody, why would you let them go over there?
Exactly.
And why are you just saying something about it a year later? I mean,
Right.
and I think it came out whenever they watched Josie's video and was talking about, hearing what he said. And I think they just go off of what they hear off of YouTube and whatever they think sounds good at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Amen.
a lot of people have done that. Someone actually had a question in the chat. I think it was Mountain Girl asked, did you ever meet Jose or see anything to do with Andy and the U-Haul and all of that situation that was spoken about last week by Jose?
No, ma'am.
No.
I didn't.
Okay.
All I know is like seeing them at the ball field, what she told me that day. the pool thing and
Mhm.
all the crazy that are going around here. We don't, and then my son, you know, and them and the kids, but we don't know nothing
Yeah.
about her thing on or none of this. And we
I think
actually
it's-
had tried, huh?
I was just going to say, going on what you said a minute ago about why would you let your child go up there? You know, there was an incident. I don't know if you heard about it a while ago. I don't know if you know when it was, Kat, but the children were up there and Hunter was up there. I think Ali had asked for the kids to come home, and apparently Candace wouldn't give them back, threatened Ali with her life. And this is what Ali said on a YouTube channel, that she was threatened with her life and Candace wouldn't give the kids back. So in which case, if you knew that woman was threatening people with a weapon, wouldn't give your kids back, and you had to go to extremes of calling the police to get your kids back, why would you let your boy go on a fishing trip with them?
Exactly. But I think Hunter run that house over there. Whatever, you know, Hunter said.
They were scared of him.
Yeah, they were scared of him. Whatever said went over there.
Oh yeah, I couldn't tell you the awful things that I heard. Oh my gosh, they'd get into it. Just the things that he would say, the screaming, the yelling, get up in their face. It was bad. You never seen him get
And
into
this-
out here?
Yeah, that's what I say. He runs that house over there. He sure does. He did.
And that was before, after, or all the time before Summer went missing.
All the time. Ever since I've lived here, that's all I've known.
And I don't know who it is. It might be nothing, nobody. But, and you know, she talked about the bikers kidnapping her, you know, trying to kidnap Hunter and all that stuff. Which Hunter told me he did not want to go with his dad. That he wanted to stay here with his mom. But I've been seeing some dude on a bike staying around here, riding over here and stuff. So I don't know. Maybe they made up or something. I don't know. But I'm just like, well, you know, who put it on? You can't help but to wonder after everything that they say, and it makes me not want my son to come out here and play because of all the crazy stuff that goes on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you shouldn't feel like that on your own porch. You should feel like you're able to go out. Mind you, this interview might change things a little bit for you, but I do appreciate you coming on and talking to us.
Yeah, no problem. It's probably going to be a bunch of drama afterwards, but that's okay. I don't care. I just wanted the truth to come out. I'm part of her pretending that she's something or somebody that she's not, trying to get sympathy, trying to get money from a little girl that's missing. And I mean, it's just enough.
They let them smoke. They let them.
All that stuff
They
that
let them
she's
do
saying
all
about
the things.
Candace is about her too.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's like calling the kettle black, but you know what I mean? Whatever
Right,
that's-
right. I get that totally. Like I've thought that on many occasions with the whole of this situation is a lot of the things that they say about Candace and Don may be true, but however, I don't think they were completely innocent of it themselves. For example, when Chris McDonough asked Ali about giving H alcohol, it was a very like muted kind of response, and my instant reaction to that was because he's probably allowed to drink it at home, so it's not a massive deal if
if he
someone
was in
else is giving
charge.
your kid alcohol, right?
Yeah,
If you're allowing them to do it in your own home.
Yeah.
yeah.
So why she make a big deal about it?
But But they've got to lie because otherwise then they have CPS on the case.
Right.
So do you feel after watching the Chris McDonough interview that H was coached at all, or whether he was speaking as he would normally speak?
Yes, I do. And like my 10-year-old son even said something about him yawning and stuff and trying to, it was just awkward and weird. And I think he was just nervous and he was trying to go by what they told him to say. I really do think that in my heart, because that was not how he acts at all.
No,
It was
just
very awkward in that.
Yeah, it was very disturbing, because I'm like, I know these people on a personal level, and
That's not.
like the only difference is, okay, you live in a nicer house than Dawn and Candace. That's it. That's it.
What do you think their beef is with Don and Candace, or Ali and Nancy and all them? What do you think their beef is with Don and Candace particularly? Is it something really specific, or is it just a general dislike, or like what's caused the animosity?
I think they got into it over Josie. I think that's what started the argument, is over Josie, and then all this other stuff happened, and it just.
And then supposedly Candace said, you know, she tried to talk to her boyfriend or whatever whenever her and Dawn were split up. And the other, I'll tell you another thing that really bothers me is where's Candace's sister? Like, without a trace, like that's two people in the family now. Like, I just feel like there's so much more
So what's
to
going on?
what's really going on, and it's sad because we'll never know.
Once you see that,
Yeah. I mean, what's your thoughts on it? What do you think happened to Summer, given everything you've seen on YouTube, given what you've heard personally, what's going around Kingsport? What do you think happened to Summer? You guys.
Go first. You go first.
I really don't know. It drives me crazy thinking about it. Sometimes I think it was an accident, and you know they got freaked out and didn't want to call the police because they was afraid the other kids would get taken. Sometimes I think that maybe he was, you know, sold for drugs. I just don't know. I really don't know.
That's me. I don't
What do you
know.
think?
I know that he had like past, you know, drug history and stuff, and I feel like
You think somebody somehow?
I don't feel like somebody took her. I feel like something happened. They know what happened. They know where she's at, and you know, I don't
Do you
know.
think Ali knows? Do you think Ali knows what happened?
I think she knows something. Maybe she don't know all, but she definitely knows something. Your child was with them, and I mean, I get it. I'm a mom of 4. I mean, it's our job to protect our kids. But if my kid's in the wrong, he's in the wrong. They're in the wrong. I'm not. I don't care what it is, small, big, little. Especially something like this. If my child knows, then my child's telling. I'm not covering that up.
Hmm. But you never met Andrew or any of them. You never met Ali's ex, or you never saw the U-Haul van or anything when they came down to Tennessee.
No, the only thing I heard
No.
about them, they were trying to, you know, get H to kind of go out the window or whatever, and he told me that he didn't want to go and that he was staying with his mom. So,
Hmm.
I know they're all
Yeah.
close. But they're very
I
close
mean,
family.
you've got Ali telling everybody on YouTube that she was so good to Candace, getting money and giving them money for food. And if she did, that's very admirable, if I can say. But given the fact that you lot are helping her out with clothing and things for the kids, does that sound like something Ali would do?
No, it's hard to believe. Sorry, there's all the kids.
Oh God, here we go again.
Doing head count.
Yeah, we're checking on the kids, but I don't know. Like, how are you helping other people when you can't even help yourself and your family?
That's what I was thinking.
Like, are you
Yeah.
making go without to support another family? I mean, 'cause I hate to be ugly, but my kids always want to come first before I try to impress a man or anybody else. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's not screaming at you anymore, is she, over the
Oh no.
They're just sitting on top. Granny.
Oh, are they sat out as well?
Yes, they're on the porch.
Usually not, but because they
haven't
know
been
we're
here.
talking.
But they're trying to be nosy. But they haven't been here, so I'm confused.
Is that their kids shouting? Oh dear.
The girl, her youngest daughter likes to play with Ashley's daughter, but they act like they don't want the kids to play.
Melissa, can I ask you a question?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know if you saw the
Anything like this, so I'm mad right now over this situation, and I'm nervous because I feel uncomfortable being recorded.
No, you're good.
And talking, so I do apologize.
worry.
For the, I'm not used
Don't
to this
worry.
kind of stuff.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Thank you so much for doing it. We really appreciate it. And I just wanted to ask you, about a week ago, there was an interview that was published that was actually recorded quite a long time ago. It was when Molly Golightly and the team came up with their heels in the ground or whatever. And they spoke to Ali and Grand Bun and Ali's mother outside. And Grand Bun said something like, the summer before Summer died. And I just wondered if you had any thoughts about whether Ali's grandmother actually knows that if Summer has died, or why she would say that. Has she ever said anything like that to you?
No, but I think that they're just watching YouTube, and I think they're trying to make themselves look better. I think they're trying to make Candace look bad, and I just think it's a bunch of bull crap, is what I think. And it's funny that y'all didn't start doing none of this stuff until Candace's mom comes on there, and then now what? Now your mom and grandma has to come over there and say something. It's like, this is not
It's a
about-
one-upper.
Yeah.
We're not one-upping.
Yeah, that's not what this is about. I think they've all lost focus about what it's really about and forgot that finding the little girl that's missing, which is, it's upsetting, and I don't want to cry about it. But it's just annoying that all these grown people are using a child for the wrong reasons. Like, why don't you come together and instead of fighting and try to find her? That would be, a nice way to get attention. Why don't you try to, put your heads together and work together to find her instead of arguing and talking about who's the worst of this or who's better at that. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Now,
really.
I mean, I've got another clip here, and this is Sherry.
Probably did do something to Hunter. No, she did not. Bullshit. I seen it in my own eyes. There were signs there. I didn't like it. I warned them. I begged no. You be in denial, but it's truth hurt.
That's
You can't ever-
Sherry. Did you hear that?
Yeah, it's bad because they're always screaming when they are talking. You can't understand anything they're saying.
Yeah.
It's just sounds like a bunch of angry pit bulls.
You guys are funny. But the thing is with this, we've got not only everybody around us telling half truths or lies, but then we've got the mother of Summer saying this.
Yeah.
You guys just can't search my property. That's all there is to it. And that comes from a higher up, like a way higher up. And I can't do nothing about that. Donnie owns the property, but I am his wife, so it goes hand in hand. I've been told that by a lawyer. You can go out there, just don't bring them on my property. That's all I have. Look, I don't give a fuck what anybody does as long as they don't go fucking surfing around on my property. No, that's the only thing I want to do as far as Summer. Just want my daughter found.
Let's get
I
the
don't know if that shit, but I can promise you one thing: there ain't nothing on my motherfucking property. Check this. You guys just can't search my property. That's all there is to it.
So, does that sound like a woman that wants a child found, or
No, she don't want her property searched because she knows that they're going to find something on her property.
Oh, that's awful. That's the first time I heard about it.
Yeah, I've never heard that. That's the first time I've heard that. That's
awful.
disturbing.
I mean, I would be like, sir, please dig, do whatever you got to do. I'll be out there digging with shovels for you if you think that's where my child's going to be. I would never. No, wow.
I've drove down through there, and it's a very unsettled feeling. It's just like it's I don't know. It's very. Beach Creek is a very tight knit community,
And it's full of
and it's full. It's a out or in. You can only go in or out two ways.